Hey, welcome to the video. My name's Dychronic, and today we're taking a look at the Destiny 2 weekly reset for August 2nd, 2022. And of course, this is the last week of the Solstice event, so if you want to complete anything for Solstice, you have until August 9th to complete it. As for the special stuff going on this week, we have double ordeal rewards. So all of the Nightfall loot drops, not the actual level for Vanguard, will be doubled. So if you want to get the Nightfall unique available this week, you have double chances. You also can get double enhancement cores, ascendant shards, etc. Everything is doubled for the drops. And again, we did have another update this week, so LightGG does not correctly display what is actually dropping. So again, I'm sorry about this, but in the comments down below, let me know what the Nightfall unique is and check that out if you want it. As far as 100k goes and the Nightfall, it's actually Inverted Spire. And this one is a very short, very low scoring Nightfall. So I would recommend at the very minimum Legend. You may actually need more, although they do stuff it full of a lot of champion. It's just so short, you're gonna end up having to kill everyone and you still might not have enough. The Vanguard Strike playlist burn is gonna be Arc Singe. Rotating Crucible playlist is Momentum Control. The Valve Disciple Raid Challenge is gonna be Looping Catalyst, taking place in the final boss encounter. And in this encounter, you're not allowed to lose the leeching buff once during the first part of the phases. So essentially, you just have to keep trading it until you get him to the square. For the rotating raid, we have the Deepstone Crypt. In the rotating dungeon, it's going to be Prophecy. Just as a reminder, we have 21 more days in the season, so 3 more weeks. Obviously, one of them is Solstice, and then 2 more weeks after that to complete anything you wanted from the season. And this also includes all of the seasonal challenges in case you wanted to finish all of these, and obviously, we already have week 10 in the books. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at Eververse's inventory, showing off the different Bright Dust options. First up, we have the Cable Skip emote, which is literally just this. Jumping rope. We have an ornament for the Jade Rabbit. Some people are using Jade Rabbit in the Crucible. I'm personally not a fan of 150s, but it is a good 150 and a good ornament. We also have the Transmit effect, the Shocking Entrance, looks like electricity, and the Oiled Algae shader, which is actually a good shader that works on a lot of weapons and different armors. Moving on to the other Bright Dust section. First of all, we have the Super Saiyan one, where you just power up and you're super powerful. I do like that one. We have the Silly Handshake, which is a multiplayer emote where you just kind of slap each other's fingers. Of course, you do that. We also have the Buoy Ghost Shell, which looks like a shark, which is very cute. We have the Crab Cycle, which is actually a sparrow with moving parts on it, which is kind of cool. We have the Summertide Kite, which is a ship. Looks similar to, I think, the Revelry ships. We have an ornament for the Forerunner, which is actually a very clean looking ornament. We have a Ghost Projection, Warsat Arrival Transmit effect. We have the Nightmare Emergence Transmit effect. We have the Beach Ball effects, which is very nice. Following that, the shaders. Regal Daring. I should probably switch weapons here. Oh, wow, that actually makes that completely different color than I expected. Again, Titan armor, it shades a little differently. We also have the Bruised Blushed, which is somewhat pinkish, a little bit weird. I haven't found many uses. All right, there you go. There you go. Very pink. Maybe on some weapons. Depends. We have the Vintage Timber, probably one of my favorite shaders in the game, if it ever loaded. Hey, there we go. Looks like this. Nice glossy black, some gold, some whites. I think it's one of the best in the game. Very nice. And lastly, the Tangerine Gloss, which doesn't look very good, so we're not going to wait for it. After that, let's take a look at the Gunsmith's inventory. First up, we have the Perseus D, which is a rapid hit headstone. Headstone being a very nice perk to have in general. 150s again are not my personal favorite. Otherwise, has a good set of perks. I do believe this has explosive payload here, and is probably better than headstone, but to each their own. After that, we have the Nutella, which is well-rounded, successful warm-up. Successful warm-up is pretty good on a bow. Well-rounded is okay. It has no fiberglass here, and everything else is kind of average. I do think this has headstone, and I would prefer that. Following that, a 140 known as Annual Skate, which does have time payload. Time payload, explosive payload, very similar, the amount of extra damage and range you can get from it. Otherwise, just kind of average. After that, the Redback. I'm really not a big fan of the lightweight frame sidearms. Rampage, Tunnel Vision, not bad. Tactical, extended, also pretty good. But just not really my favorite. Memory Interdict, which is a 120, has Chain Reaction, probably one of the best perks you can have on this, although I believe this has Impulse Amplifier, which is good for PvP, otherwise kind of average. And finally, the GL5, which is a Steady Hands Wellspring. which is okay, but it does have explosive payload, or not explosive, explosive light in this column, and generally is more favored. Of course, does not have spike grenades, so not a great role. I know I say a lot of things very quickly when it comes to the weapons. It's just that there's a lot of weapons and a lot of things to say. I don't want to waste too much time, but for the most part, you can go check these out yourself, read the perks, etc., etc. These are just my recommendations. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, a big thank you to Mom and Dad, Pasta Loans on Box World, Monday, City Balcony, Student Panther, Case Ray, and Father Support on Patreon. And that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.